Friends, what you wanna see? Bro, that's my favorite song. I found that and I just never left it alone. What is up, Facebook gang? What is up? If you just saw me on Cash's channel, Cash will be on my channel. If you saw the thumbnail for this show, we're going to be talking about Khalif Browder versus Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm going to have special guests coming on with me. You already know one of them. It is Cash. He'll be here in a moment. Whenever he gets wrapped up with his show, he'll be on. Hello. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Let me share this on the other page because Facebook makes my stuff. For some reason, I have to go in and change the privacy on all of my lives because they limit it to my friends list. And we want the world to see, not just my friends list. So let me do that real quick. How was everyone's Sunday? Anybody watch football? I love football. I wasn't able to watch. He sent me a message. Okay, I'll have to look at that later. Hey, Tabitha. How you doing? How's everyone's Sunday? You're really glowing. Am I glowing for real? No babies. I see what you're trying to hint right there. No babies. Titans won. Ew. Here we go. Someone just asked a question and I just finished talking about it on Cash's show. This was a tweet that did come from the Trump campaign, but I don't think that people need to freak out. I think you need to just wait. Just wait. And see what's going to happen. Sidney Powell is practicing the law on her own. She is not a member of the Trump team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. All right. Rudy Giuliani, attorney for President Trump. Jenna, Trump campaign senior legal advisor and attorney for President Trump. They put out this statement saying what we already knew. So people are going to try to counter it and say crazy stuff. Here's Cash. Welcome to the hot mic. Say crazy stuff.
What's going on, sister?
Nothing. You can't let this kind of stuff get under your skin, though. Even if they did say, hey, she's not a part of the legal team, so what? It's not going to stop her from doing her thing, and she's exposing some stuff. So just relax. People, they do this on purpose. If you see something that the left is promoting like crazy, okay, don't turn away from it. Don't ignore it. But just take it with a grain of salt and say, you know what, I'm going to wait and see what other information comes out. Because if you do that, you do this right here, people are stressing out. They're like, can you please, what does this mean? All right. Relax. I promise you it's okay.
But if you guys could, everybody that just tuned in right now that came over here, Nicole, everybody that just tuned in from over on my page, if you could follow Suni, y'all. Get her followers up, man, because she got some heat. Do you hear me? Dragon fire.
This is the live. We're going to talk about Khalif Browder. Do you remember his story? The kid up in New York? Okay, I'm going to play a video so that you can get caught up with it. But the pro-Black community is now speaking out once again, comparing Kyle Rittenhouse because he was released on a $2 million bail and Khalif Browder. Now, mind you, these cases are completely different. You can't, it's so bad you can't even compare it. But I'm going to put this video up so that you guys can find out what's going on. Now, the story is sad. It's definitely an injustice, but it has nothing to do with race. Just nothing to do with race.
That's my Uncle Wayne.
Hi.
This is one young man's story that is not only horrifying, but also preventable. Here's my Nightline co-anchor, Byron Pitts.
Rikers.
For Khalif Browder, justice wasn't simply blind, it betrayed him.
I felt like I was done wrong. I felt like something needed to be done about this.
Arrested at the age of 16 for allegedly stealing a backpack.
Last night, they took my brother book back.
He would spend more than 3 years in the notorious Rikers Island jail, much of it 800 days in solitary confinement. He was never tried, a breakdown in the system that broke him.
I'm always thinking about jail. Like, I'm a mess. I'm 21, and in the inside, I feel like I'm 40.
Nightline spoke with Browder in October of 2014. Optimistic, working, he'd earned his GED, started classes at Bronx Community College, pulling a 3.56 GPA. But the psychological trauma from jail was haunting, inescapable. 7 months after that Nightline interview, Khalif Browder hung himself with an air conditioning cord in his home in the Bronx. He was 22.
They destroyed my life, my family's life.
The truth of the hellish nightmare he endured inside Rikers, crueler than fiction. The harsh reality now being explored in a 6-part Spike TV documentary. Time, the Khalif Browder story. Produced by the Weinstein Company and Jay-Z.
People see his story and realize, like, man, this is going on. This is not like one case that happened. This is happening a lot.
Is this one of those tales because what happened to him at each stage was so horrific? It's so unbelievable, though true, that it couldn't happen again?
Part of what makes this story so horrific is that it's happening every day, and that Khalif is one of many, many kids who are experiencing a similar issue.
In life, Khalif offered a cautionary tale about the inefficiency of the criminal justice system. In death, he became a martyr.
I deeply wish we hadn't lost him, but he did not die in vain.
New York City ended solitary confinement for 16 and 17-year-olds. And last year, New York State passed Khalif's law to ensure a speedy trial. President Obama penned an op-ed citing Browder's story, calling for the end of solitary for juveniles nationwide.
We've seen prophets come in many shapes and forms, and we've seen, sometimes tragedy happens for our prophets, Martin Luther King, and, I believe this young man, his story will save a lot of lives.
Adding voices to the beat of Jay-Z, Khalif's siblings fighting for justice reform, calling for the closing of Rikers Island.
Why do you think it needs to be shut down?
It's ludicrous how we can put human beings behind cages, forget about them, and then release them back into society. It's not human.
The series features never-before-seen outtakes captured during Nightline's 2014 interview.
All right, tell me when this gets annoying, and I'll stop.
When your subject is no longer with you, every little bit of footage that's ever existed of them becomes that much more significant. Nightline footage really actually helped us tell this story in a way that we would have never been able to do.
I'm just nervous.
The docuseries attempts to further humanize Khalif through stylized recreation.
He gets hit upside the head with a big injustice stick. In that moment, he was innocent. And that matters to people.
I didn't rob nobody.
You didn't?
No.
There are disturbing deposition tapes and alarming jail security video that made national news. At just 5 feet 5 inches tall, Browder was an acorn who stood up to oak trees inside Rikers.
I remember Khalif called me out. He said he wanted to fight me individually, one-on-one, and mano a mano. You know me. I said, all right, come on, let's fight.
He refused to join a gang, so inmates beat him. Guards mocked him.
Nobody protected me. I'm by myself. And there you have to fight for the phone. You have to fight to be able to sit at the table. You have to fight for people not to take a commissary. You have to fight for any little thing.
The anger, isolation, and brutality Khalif endured in jail would stay with him long after he went home.
This is how he releases his anger.
Weighing heavily on his friends and family.
And when he thinks about Rikers, he gets really upset.
Who was Khalif before he went to Rikers?
He was a normal kid. He was a teenager.
And when he comes home from Rikers, who is he?
Soulless. He wasn't the same anymore.
He did a lot that resembled him being in jail, which was he used to line up bottles on the windowsill and talk to them because that was something he did since he didn't have human contact in jail.
It sounds like that even when he was out of Rikers, Rikers was still in him.
Perfectly put, actually.
Studies show prolonged stays in solitary confinement can lead to paranoia, hallucinations, irritability, aggression, suicidal thoughts, and emotional breakdowns, leading to even greater damage among adolescents whose brains are still developing.
I must have took about 4 or 5 trips to the box to solitary confinement, and it wasn't easy. I practically lost my mind, and I feel like I still lost my mind. Like sometimes, you know, I feel like I have screws loose. Like I'm never gonna be the same.
How do you all see his?
Hold on.
Devastating. It's hard to watch. It's hard to hear. It's hard to constantly repeat. To see him go through all that. It's like he tried to live a normal life in a world where humans failed him.
Why do you think this happened to Khalif? Is it because he was black? Because he was poor? Because he had a prior record?
I would say the first two that you said nails it. If I'm an officer on the street, I'm trained to look at a black and
There
brown
goes propaganda.
differently than I am to a white person.
After Khalif's death, his family would file a $20 million lawsuit against the city of New York and other parties. His mother, Vanita Browder, spoke with me in 2015.
Has anyone apologized to you from Rikers?
No,
From the prosecutor's office?
no.
What do you hope happens now?
I want them to be responsible, to admit that it was their fault that my son is dead. He spent 3 years in hell.
It sounds like you're in that hell now.
I will be in hell until the day I die because I found my son hanging. It's not one person, it's a whole system that destroyed my son. And I want them all to pay.
Vanita's hell would end without apology. Last October, she died.
When Khalif hung himself, she could never recover from it.
It sounds like she died of a broken heart.
Yes, she did. Absolutely. I tried to get her help as much as possible. I did. I tried so hard, you know, even offering to, you know, be with her during any session. I tried really, really hard. Sorry, I tried so hard. And it's just so hard for me.
What do you hope comes out of telling Khalif's story?
I hope that people understand that Khalif is not the only one. We hope that this doesn't happen ever again.
Okay. His story, completely sad. Okay. What happened to him happens to so many other young males, black and white, that go to Rikers Island. There is an injustice here. They kept him in jail for 3 years over a book bag. Like Chris said, the courts are at fault for this. The courts are. They got these guys waiting in there for trial over a book bag. But why are you using this to push an agenda? Like, this specifically happened to him because he was black. And cops target black men. Come on, man. And then they have the nerve to compare this. Like I said, what happened to him is extremely unfortunate. But you're comparing Khalif Browder to Kyle Rittenhouse. They don't even go hand in hand. You can't even compare the two.
What was the end result of the backpack?
He ended up getting out.
What happened? What was the backpack? What did he do? Anything with the backpack?
Honestly, I watched the documentary when Jay-Z put it out, and I really can't remember. He was a kid that was in trouble. He did get in trouble. It's not like he never had a run-in with the cops. Okay. But I don't remember what happened with the book bag. I really don't. Oh, Cash is back, I think. But you said propaganda. What did you mean by that?
Me? The idea Okay, so they want Riker shut down now because of this happened to a black kid. They don't want
Pretty much.
Riker shut down because it happens to multiple black, Hispanic, and white adult men. But there's one case now you want Riker shut down. What I also found missing from that entire thing was one person. What one person they never interviewed and talked to? Unless they did early in the video and I didn't see it. Who did they talk to? Where was Pops?
His dad wasn't
Where
in the
was
picture.
Pops? Where was
He was-
Pops?
He was
They don't want
actually
to talk
a
about that
foster
shit,
kid.
right? They want to say, oh, it's because the system. I get the system is corrupt. I
Yeah.
get that the system is corrupt. I keep telling people, though, you got to go back to the root of all of this. And when you go back to the root of all of this, you will still find the same people at fault and the same people that started all of this. And it's the Democrats. It's a Democrat-run state, Democrat-run city. The Democrats decided they wanted to control black people and they ruined the black family. But nobody wants to talk about the crux of the matter. They want to talk about the symptom. The kid was in trouble. He had priors. Now, if you take away the father figure and the nuclear family, you will encounter more situations like this. Yes, it's sad. I understand that completely. But dude, when you avoid something right in front of your face, what do you expect? What do you really expect? I can't continue walking down the street with a broken leg, complaining about pain, but only addressing where I feel the pain affecting outside of that location where the break is. I have to fix the break. Otherwise, I still have a broken leg. And no matter how many band-aids I put around somewhere else, it's not fixing my broken leg. What we as a society keeps doing, we keep addressing some symptom, some external thing. Let's fix something out there. That'll, if I get in trouble, that it won't be so harsh on me, or not to get me in trouble so much. But nobody wants to address the actual behavior that might be influencing these things. No one wants to talk about it, and I don't get why.
So
it makes no sense to me.
What was the story about with this guy? What was his deal?
So he was walking down the street. Police, he fit the description of somebody who stole a backpack. Police snatched him off the street, charged him with it without any real evidence. He said he didn't do it. He ended up spending 3 years in Rikers Island. And he had some severe mental issues when he got out because of being in solitary confinement. Pretty much the justice system doing what it always does and failing. They're comparing his story to Kyle Rittenhouse and saying the reason that all these things happen to Khalif Browder is simply because he is black. And Kyle Rittenhouse has all of this help in the world because he's white.
No. I think, put it like this. The way I would kill that is Rittenhouse was defending his life against people that was trying to attack him. And especially in a climate right now of the things that was going on with BLM and burning down businesses and looting businesses and things like that. And people came to his aid that weren't just white, and they didn't do it because he was white. They came to his aid because they felt like it was wrong what happened to him. And it happened to be put out in the media, and people that were there seen it, and they pushed for him, did a GoFundMe and all these things. What happened with the other young man? First off, I don't believe that people were aware like they were about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Thank you.
Secondly, other people like Jay-Z, I see was on this. So Jay-Z got on that case or whatever.
Like a years after it happened,
But when it happened, there was no national attention to it.
No.
Okay, so he didn't get any national attention. I guarantee you, had he had gotten national attention, that people probably would have came to his aid, and it wouldn't have mattered if he was black or white, or the people that came to his aid were black or white. If they would have saw something wrong there, people would have came to their aid. And the way that I say, the reason why I say that is because I look at my own life and the way that things happen in my life with where I'm at right now compared to where I was 6 months ago. If the world was racist and people didn't want to help you because you were black, then I wouldn't be sitting here the way that I am right now. White, black, brown, yellow, all came to my aid and like, look, Cash, we believe in what you're doing. We're going to help you. And they, to this day, people are still donating you know, to my cause. Right now, people are still donating to my cause. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a race thing. That's the agenda that they pushed out there. That's the agenda that they wanted to be. They wanted to be black against white. They want black people to feel like that they're at a disadvantage because they're black, and that's not the case at all. We're at a disadvantage because of our mindset, the way that we think, lack of fathers, like my man said. You know what I'm saying? Lack of fathers in the home, lack of accountability. But yes, I will say that there is definitely a bias in some instances, in some part of the judicial system, depending on your geographical location. Not in every city is black people looked at differently than white people in a court of law, but in some places, hell yeah, there's definitely a bias, and that's the things that need to be corrected. Which again, I take my hat off to Trump for prison reform. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be mad at the way a system is, but not be thankful for the man that's trying to do something about it, and people that are with him that are trying to do something about it. You know, you got these Jay-Z's and all these other people that have already made it, and they pretend like they care. I bet you that man got paid off or whatever it was he was trying to do to help the kid out. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it was. And that's the thing. These people, man, it's a dirty game out there. And you guys think that it's all black and white. It's not, because black people take advantage too. The same way white people take advantage too of their own, because they look at it as just that, as their own. Their mind's already twisted. I don't look at a black guy as my own people. I don't look at a white guy as my own people or my enemy. I look at people as my people. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
So Browder was raised in the foster system, right?
Yes, he was.
His mother was a druggie. He was one of 7, but one of 5 that got placed in the adoptive agency. So his mother, there's not his actual mother, an adoptive mother. Okay, so he didn't know any of them. Didn't know parents, didn't know anything. So he already grew up in a fractured world. Okay. And like I say, hurt people hurt people. Understand that. So you're already at a deficit to begin with. Then you place him in a Democrat-run city, and nobody wants to see that either. I don't hear about these cases so prevalent in red states. You just don't. I'm sorry, but you don't. I would love to hear the last time a red-run city had this many issues in the justice system. And they're the ones that are always called the racist states. In his situation, you have cops that are doing what they want to do, arrest who they want to arrest. Even if they arrested him and took him in, the system, and I don't mean that as the laws, I'm talking about the people involved in it, and they're mostly Democrat, have an agenda. You ever wonder why there's so many blacks in prison if they didn't do anything wrong? Look at where they're put in prison, look at what states this is happening in, and you'll have your answer. And again, nobody wants to watch the actual issue. We like to skirt around it under the idea of social justice and change everything else but the head of the snake. I feel for the guy. I mean, and the other thing too that crossed my mind, they literally said that solitary stuff like this can cause all kinds of residual effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing those states want to put into effect now because of COVID? Solitary confinement to your homes. There is something wrong with Democrats, y'all. There's something wrong with these people's heads. They are pervasively evil people. Like, honestly, they are
that's what I'm saying. It's not just Democratic ran cities and states. It's not just that, because I'm in Indiana and it's a red state, and you go to Indianapolis and it's the same issues. It doesn't matter about the politicians. I don't care if they're red or they're blue. You have good and bad people. Not all Democrats are evil, and not all Republicans are good. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to a person, to the person that's in that party, the person that's in that position. You know what I'm saying? Fatherlessness affects everywhere. It's not just in a Democratic ran city or a Democratic ran state. That's everywhere. And unfortunately, it's something that plagues, you know, the black community a lot because of the culture that was hijacked from us. Our culture isn't our own culture anymore. We haven't had our own culture since we got off a slave ship. You know what I'm saying? The culture been taken and we've been given a culture. We've been told who we're supposed to be. When we created hip hop and it was educational, and motivational and inspiring. They switched it up and made it something that degrades the women. It degrades the men. It makes you feel like you have to have money and cars and jewels and all these things to make yourself feel adequate, you know, and that's not the case. They made us what we are. And when I say they, I mean the people that infiltrated and created it to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not about a political thing at that point. When you look at the culture, that's the problem. And the culture was given by both Republican and Democrat. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the George Bushes, how they did, you know what I'm saying? Bush and Noriega, take it right back to them. And you got the crack epidemic and all of these things. It wasn't just Democrats that had a hand in that. It was Republicans too. They were all dirty at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the politics of it all, not every Democrat is evil. Just like look at JFK. JFK was a damn good dude. Damn good dude. You know what I'm saying? And he went against the grain. He went against both Republican and Democrat and stood for his truth that he thought was best for the people. Ended up getting him taken out. You think that no Democrat had a hand in that? Damn sure they did. Just like the Republicans did. You know what I'm saying? It goes deeper than that. This is a spiritual problem, a brain problem when it comes to these type of people, good and evil. Simple as that. You have good people and you have evil people. That's what it comes down to. It's not even a party thing at that point, because I don't believe every Democratic candidate or every Democratic politician is bad. I think that their party overall, the overall agenda of that party is bad. But the individuals are in conflict. They're in war with themselves. That's why you have some Democrats that aren't really, they won't call themselves like a liberal. They're a moderate. You have these different terms, moderate and radical, and you know, however you want to look at it, but they're at war within themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just the politics part of it. It's deeper than just saying Democratic ran cities are bad because they're Democrat, which I agree. Most Democratic cities are shitholes. You know what I'm saying? They're messed up. But not to say that there's no Republican city that's in the same way. It's just they are quicker to lock your ass up they're more law and order in a Republican ran city. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
I mean, I look at the history of the party, like you said. Now, I'm not saying all Democrats operate this way, but when I look at the history of the party, they have never had anything positive that they did for humanity, you know, let alone communities that they targeted. And Democrats, like in all of my research of trying to find out their views, what they stood behind, I can't find anything that was ever good.
JFK, he was good.
Well, JFK, okay, well, yeah, we can say him.
Yeah, as an individual, he sure was. Yeah.
Even for his party at that time, the Democratic Party, that Democratic Party at his era, they were good. You know what I'm saying? Their agenda at that time was good. I'm not going to say all of them were, but him being a representative of them, which is why, like you said, though, you know, they took his ass out. They took him out because he didn't act like a Democrat. Really. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't Republican. But that's what I mean when I say it comes down to the individual, good and bad. He was good. JFK was good, and what he stood for was good. Regardless of his party, he didn't give a damn about his party. He went for what he thought was good, and that's what we need more of. More politicians that are going to do that and drop the title of politician just because they're in politics and say that I'm an American and I'm going to stand up for what's right for the American people, i.e. the Donald Trumps.
It's a moral thing for me, just moral. We're just going to go to a basic moral code. And by the way, I'm not Republican, for anybody wondering. I don't believe in parties. I believe that this is just what we have to deal with because we operate in a two-party system. So I can't say that I would ever in my life vote Democrat because I don't believe what they stand for. I don't like any of their policies. If it came down to the person and they were saying policies that I agreed with, I wouldn't understand how they're running under the Democrat banner. And maybe that's not for me to figure out.
But it is for you to figure out, because if they can't implement what they're running on, when they get in power, and this is the problem with Trump too, he had a whole bunch of stuff that he wanted to get done, and yes, both the Republicans and the Democrats kept him from doing it because it would influence their pockets. That's just facts. They didn't want certain things going into play because if it did happen, then they'd lose money. You understand? So if I hear someone Democrat running on a good, oh yeah, that sounds good. But I know in my heart, if they're a Democrat, they're not going to get any of that done because the Democrats aren't going to let that happen. They're never going to let stuff happen. Come on. So it's, for me, it comes, I understand what you said, Cash, about it being both sides playing the middle for mutual gain on their end. But when I look back at the historical ratifications of all of them included, the party platform itself, I have to lean to the Republicans, period,
All day.
because
Me too.
they have more of, and I can't say right, they're more have a more moral standing than the Democrats do.
Yeah.
And when I said Democrat run cities, I literally mean run as in terms of the governor and the way the system itself is set up for who's in charge, like the way Kamala was in California, blue-headed, and every policy she did was based on lobbyists.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happens with the justice system now. If they can get something out of something, they're going to get it. But I don't, even in, maybe you can tell me, since you live there in Indiana, that's what you said you are, right? What actual on-book policy do you know of that's targets inner city and African Americans?
Not one.
Okay. What DA type system, do you know if the DA leans towards Democrat or Republican?
No.
Okay. But in the blue cities, you know, every last one of them lean towards Democrat. Which is why I said the blue run cities, you have this innate embedded BS that runs through and through it. You will never be able to find clean people in a blue state. I look at mine in Washington State, and I swear to God, if I could flood the whole state, if I could flood that side of the mountain where Olympia is and take Jay Inslee and just wash his ass out to sea, I would do it in a heartbeat. Him and every last one of them. Just run them out to sea and make sure there's lots of sharks out there, piranha, whatever kind of flesh-eating fish I can find. Because his entire agenda is driven out of selfish need. Just recently, we had a $30 tab. The whole state said, yeah, it passed. Him and one county that has the majority of people that live in it decided they weren't going to go with it and filed a lawsuit, and they won and took away our rights to do that. That kind of stuff to me is what the Democrat Party itself embodies. And if they have a way to make other people be subservient to them, they will do it. In this case with this young man, New York is infamous for this. Yeah. The state only settled in last year in this 3.3 million, I think, is what the family ended up getting. 3.3 million is what they got. And the system is still the same. The Democrats are still in charge, and not a single thing has been improved, even with settling for 3.3 million. So I don't see what the settlement did except get the family of the dead people rich. I don't see what system got changed. I don't see what betterment that happened to New York. Cuomo's still in charge. Blasio still in charge.
Yeah.
All of them are still there. Nothing's changed. But we're touting, oh yeah, we got this lawsuit settled. So what? Like I said before, you're putting a bandage on a section of your body that isn't injured. You're just perpetuating the system. It's just like the GoFundMes. If a bad guy does something wrong, people set up a GoFundMe for him. If he gets shot and he gets out, he's a millionaire now. Now he's a crooked millionaire, and he's still going to vote Democrat. Yeah. And the people who are putting money up still going to vote Democrat. Nothing changes.
You're right.
Welcome, Shelly. I wanted Shelly to come on here and talk. She doesn't have a lot of time.
Sorry, yeah, my kids are over, so they're like, you better be.
It's all good. I just wanted to hear your perspective on this, the Kyle Rittenhouse and the Khalif Browder, because the woke, they like to poke the bear with me. The woke black crowd, you know, the pro-blacks, this for me is an embarrassment, in my opinion, that we're even comparing the two cases, because Kyle Rittenhouse, in my opinion, I don't see where he did anything illegal. He didn't take the gun across state lines. Go ahead.
Hey, I love you guys. Suni, do you mind if I jump off? I got to go in here and help her. We got all the babies over there, and it's dinner time. I got to help her.
Nah, go ahead. Thanks for coming on.
You already know I'll be back. You already know we got this. I love all of you guys. Bro, you're very intelligent, man, up there. You're dope, bro. I can't wait to talk to you more. Straight up. Shelly, I love you, sister.
I love you too.
All right, y'all.
All right. What is your perspective? This guy was in jail for...
I want to touch a little bit on what Marlon just said in regard to like the settlements and stuff. Chicago has been the same way for, I cannot even tell you how long. Like, I've been the police 24 years, and they will settle every fucking time. Every time. Every single time. And I get the whole thing where, like, if it's just cheaper to settle and get done with it, but how about, like, standing up for what's right? I think that's, like, a big piece of the problem, because nothing changes. Nothing changes. I think all they have done by settling every time is empowering people to believe I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, even when I'm fucking wrong, because they're going to settle regardless.
Yeah.
That has been literally Chicago history every single time. Like, I won't get into names and stuff really quick, but there was a case where it was a police officer involved. And it was all over the news. I knew this police officer. My husband knew this police officer. She worked with us. She was a police officer. And I will tell you, I have never supported a shitty officer a day in my life. I do not tolerate nonsense. You did not take a badge to be a badass. You took it to protect and to serve the people. This person should have never been the police. How she passed anything to be the police is beyond me. So she was on the job. They hit her for a while because, back in the day, if you like said, oh no, this person is a terrible police officer, people kind of like looked at you funny, especially if they knew somebody else. So she was on the job. She was very unsafe. She was unprofessional. She only took the job because her husband forced her to take the job. So years go by, 12 years, before we get some reputable bosses realize, like, wait, nobody wants to work with this person. Like, I'm talking about a whole entire watch of people. Like, they will call in sick when they find her back out on the street, because the bosses rotate all the time. So now she doesn't have that upper hand, and people realize, like, wait, this person should not be the police. But at the time, now she's invested 12 years later. So they wind up putting a plan together. Like, she has to work with, every PO has to take a turn working with her, and a supervisor has to work with them. Now, once you're off of probation, a supervisor works with you. So they get this plan together, they work with her. She decides to call the union, says that she has like some heart issues, we have to take her to the hospital, all this shit. It winds out turning out she used to date a supervisor in our station. One, you're not supposed to be like dating anybody. That you cannot supervise someone you date. Now, everybody knew it. Like, everybody knew it. They went to parties together. They came to and from work together. Once this particular boss put pressure on her, like, no, you're going to do the things, etc. Like, we cannot carry you. Like, you are basically, she's like jeopardizing my life. I don't feel safe working with her. Like, I need a partner who's going to have my back, because we live in dangerous times. So they wound up, she wound up then, after this boss was on her, like making an allegation against this boss, that this boss like threatened her, etc. Then she even went as far to say that this supervisor was sexually harassing her and filed a complaint. Never said that they were in a relationship, and they were in a relationship for like years. Never said any of that. So everybody, like, they called everybody down. Everybody had to give, like, there were pictures of them at weddings. He would pick up her kids. So it was this big, nasty scandal. So at the end, guess what the city even though they had so many witnesses and people are not like connected to her on that level, so many witnesses and proof of everything. Like they proved that she lied. They were in a relationship, and the city wound up settling with her. Every time. It's not just
what.
When I tell you, I swear to you, if you read the documents to this complaint, and it was a long lawsuit, like it fucking pages on pages on pages on pages. And they found her lying so many times. Even with her lying, they wound up eventually fucking settling with her. So what happens when you do that with people that are in the department and with people outside of the department? You empower them to be fuck ups because they're going to get away with stuff. I just wanted to touch that real quick because I came in on the end of Marlon talking about what does these settlements get them? It empowers them to keep doing shit like that, to be honest.
And it happens in Democrat-ran states.
Well, especially like I said, Chicago's Democrat ran, and it's been like that forever. Like I cannot tell you if I actually looked into it, I could probably give you the exact numbers of how much they settled.
Oh my God, man.
And I'm talking about, and that's just the 24 years that I've been here. But on the inside, you see the real stuff. You see all of it. And this is my thing. I feel like as a parent, I just think that if I really feel that the police did something wrong, I don't want your fucking money. I'm going for way more. Like, we are not settling. I am not settling with you. Your millions is not going to bring back whoever it is. Like, I am coming to bring down the whole establishment. And I will not stop until it'll be biblical. I will bring it to its knees. So for me, I don't understand how money makes you happy. And then all of a sudden we don't hear.
It's easy to understand why. It's easy to understand why. It's easy to understand why money makes it go away. Every time money gets involved, who came up with the 3.3 million or any kind of funds amount? If I'm going to sue the city, why would even money come into the process? Okay, so let's just start there, because this one doesn't go back to the city. This one goes back to the parents. Okay, so they're suing the city for an amount of money that will never bring back their loved one, nor help them change the situation for anyone else they love. Okay, so if I'm suing you based on the amount of funds, the city, for it to go away and never change anything, has no problem paying that up.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, you have to start thinking to yourself, why am I even involving money? Because the person's already gone. I'm not going to be able to save them anymore. And human nature of selfishness will take over. I look at that. Was that his sister that was on camera?
Yeah.
That the big light skinned one? No tears. FYI. I always watch for this. When you try to cry on camera, if it's legit, there will be tears. She had no tears, like zero.
Yeah.
None.
It's
so
sad.
It is a money thing. And if I can sell, and I'm sorry to say this, Suni, you know this is true too. One of the easiest people to silence with cash are black people.
Yeah. Can't even.
All of the cases, they ask them if they ask for money. And as soon as they get the money, case goes bye-bye because it's done. They got what they wanted to get out of it. Not one case. Even when you go back, and I'll apply it to white people, even with Michael Jackson's case. If it really was that your kid was molested by Michael Jackson, you think I'm going to settle for $50 million or $100 million? No, thing off. Just chop his thing off and then I'll be satisfied. So he never does it to anybody again. But that was never the case because they knew it was not true. They never pursued anything but money. They knew money would get them because he wants to stop the nonsense. With the government, they know the government in that state will hand out. If I ask for money, I'll at least be able to go on with my life and not stress about it anymore. And probably end up leaving the state anyway.
And I think a big part of it, especially in Democrat cities, It's because, you know what? They want to appease the people, if they know that they're fucking wrong. Because guess what? They don't give a shit if the whole city goes to hell, obviously, because they want to appease the people because they know they have to spoon feed them in order to get their votes. They need to keep the votes. Period.
Mhm.
And as far as the Kyle case, I think that this is just my opinion. So I think that the only thing, so I don't think he did anything wrong, right? I think that the videos are clear once they all came out, and I tell people all the time, whenever there's anything going on, wait for it.
Yeah.
Because the media gives you big clips. They're going to show you. They want to incite violence. They want to create the divide. They want to push their agendas. They have their own narratives. But wait for it to come out. Once all the videos came out, now you can see a little bit more what happened. This kid's in danger of his life. He is being attacked. There are videos of him being attacked. He had a gun, right? He winds up shooting this guy. Or I think he shot, how many people did he shoot? Like, was it 2 or 3? 3 total, 1 dead, right?
I think, no, 2 dead.
2 dead?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I think. You play stupid games and you win prize. That's what I think. Seriously, that's what I think he has the right to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that questioning, I have a 17-year-old son. My son is an amazing shooter. Would I, as a parent, allow my son to go to another state knowing how things are? I would say no. That's just me. I'm going to be the devil's advocate and I'm going to play both sides of the fence, right? Because I feel that I would not let my 17-year-old son do that. But that's just me. But that's neither here nor there. What happened, that's before what do you say? That's regardless of what actually happened. We're dealing with what happened. And as far as what I see, I think he was justified in doing what he did. He didn't carry a gun over state lines. I don't know if he was, did he have an FOID card? I don't think you can even get one at 17.
I don't think so. I know that they went to the sheriffs and let them know that they would be there and they wanted to help out. He was actually guarding a friend's business.
Right.
So that's all the information that we really have.
And Wisconsin law is a little different than our law. Like every state, every municipality has different laws. So, but for me, I don't think he did anything wrong. And I think that it's even sadder that one of the other guys who wasn't, correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be mixing it up. You know, I got chicken nugget brain at times. So one of the guys who got shot is not in jail, also had a gun, but he's out fucking free.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Let's make that make sense. This is my thing. I don't have a problem when it comes to the justice system and letting it play out, but make sure that justice system is equal for everybody, not just for the white kid who all of a sudden now, you know, they're the damn devils. I think that the law is the law, right?
Facts.
Why are both? They should be sitting in jail together singing Kumbaya, you know, being friends.
No. And this is being compared to Khalif Browder.
Yeah. Which you already know. They're going to compare everything they can. They will take something that has no comparison at all and put it in the same playing field. Because it fits their agenda. Because that's what they want. That's what helps them sleep better at night. But anyways, I have to get off. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk later.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you. Have a good one, Marlon. Have a good one.
Shirley.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a great night. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
So
I don't know.
I'm looking at down here, right? This is the top violent cities in America. Okay. And I want you to tell me what similarities you might see. And then also, what exactly is changed with them over the last 8 years? Say, I'll just give it 8. Okay. Detroit, number 1.
That's been the same
St. Louis
since I was
number
little.
2. Detroit, and then St. Louis number 2. Baltimore number 3. Memphis, Albuquerque, Milwaukee, Rockford, Wichita, Tulsa, Lansing, and Springfield. Those are the top ones.
They're all Democrat ran. All of them. Detroit was bad when I was little. Okay, and I'm 30.
Yep.
Detroit
And
has always been bad.
the ones with the top 100, Detroit's still at the top. Memphis is right under it. Birmingham, Alabama, Baltimore, and Flint. But mind you, okay, a lot of the shootings that happen, you only hear about Chicago. And I'll tell you why, because Chicago condenses them in weekends. Chicago, almost every weekend you hear about a shooting in Chicago. The rest of these places, it happens daily, so you don't even get in the news anymore. How bad is it that you have to be that you don't even make the news for stuff that goes down in your city because people are just, that always happens there. It's just normal. But I agree with Cash that this thing, like, understand that people consider JFK this great man too. People don't understand that JFK and Donald J. Trump have a lot in common. Did people knew that JFK was a womanizer, right? They do realize that Marilyn Monroe was his side chick, right? They do understand this. He was not without blemish, okay, but he's still looked at the Democrats as this fine fellow.
Mm-hmm.
They look at him as a fine fellow. I agree, he's a good man in terms of his policy making, but as a man, let's be honest, okay, he wasn't any different than most of the men that are in politics and power.
Look, people got to stop putting politicians on these pedestals and treating them like gods, like they're people just like you and I. Yes, their policies are great. Yes, he was the first president to set it off, but he was still a man.
Mm-hmm. So it comes down. I mean, I touched on this many times in many of my videos and many of my talks, and I talked about it just the other day. All of this does come down to good versus evil. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will always look at parties based on their platform. When I go running for governor here, I'm going to run under the Republican platform because I'm not an independent. One, I won't get traction either, but I lean more towards the Republican. Most independents are still pro-abortion. That's just factual. I will not be that. And I'll make it known, and I don't care. Like, I just came from picking up some tools from a guy who helped with the Lauren Culp's campaign. And I told him, dude, this is what I'm probably going to try and do. He's like, if you run, let me know. I'll financially back you. Nice. People are sick and tired of the Democrats, dude. They're sick and tired. I mean, when I say sick, but he's also leaving the state and moving to Texas. Part of him is hopeful, but he also realized that the wet side of Washington state has this place on lockdown, like literally on lockdown. We are a mostly red state when you look at it on the map, but because of the dense population of clowns on the other side and the corruption, he said he's been on the mail-in ballot system since 1980 something, and since then, a single Republican had been made its way to the governorship in Washington state. He links them. I do too. I mean, the night that Inslee won, Culp was ahead. And not just by a little bit. Culp was ahead at 56 and Inslee was at 48 when he got on TV and was announcing that he had won re-election. And nobody stopped it.
Wow.
You understand? That's how bad it is here. Like, I went into the store today because they have this national lockdown with the mandates with the masks now here.
Yeah.
And now and this is at Fred Meyer, right? One of the most lax ones. They have people at the doors now with a mask box in their hand and hand sanitizer. And they're telling you need to wear a mask when they walk in. So I walk in there and I'm wearing this hat. And I walk in and they say, do you have a mask? I said, no, I'm good. And just walked right past her. Not a word else past. Not a word. She didn't say another word again. Meanwhile, my buddy, my fighter, David, walked in and they chased this man to the store to try and get him out.
What?
So I told him, you see here, I have a black card and I do have black privilege. The reason they can't kick me out, and I swear to God, this is proven. I think they don't want to say anything. Because this is how the Democrats paint themselves in a corner. They don't want to say anything to me because they might come across racist.
Racist.
Which tells me also that COVID is still a scam, because if it was that dangerous, you do everything in your power to keep me from going without it.
Facts.
Which is why I don't believe that BS about masks. They don't care. It all comes down to that. Their policies are completely different.
Libertarian.
Did I run as a libertarian? Is that what you're asking?
They are, in my opinion, I think libertarians are right on the mark with Democrats in some aspects, because they don't want government involved at all. Like, it's just about to be the wild, wild west out here. If you have it their way.
No, Democrats want the government though, but they want only dependence on government. You understand? Libertarians don't want any dependence on government.
Can you see this? I have said this for like a few months now. We only see the same families like on the forefront of our government all the time. We only hear about the same families. It's like they're pretty much trying to will themselves a ruling class. And Donald Trump took a big shit on that. It's a ruling class. There's no way that these people would stay in office that goddamn long, and then their kids do it, and then your kid does it. I wouldn't want to be in politics that long. I'm sorry. And I wouldn't want my kids to have to deal with that.
You would if your goal was power and money.
Yeah.
And protection. If you can literally do no wrong, wouldn't you stay? If you could not get arrested for anything, you would do it. De Blasio's daughter got arrested, right? She got arrested. There's mugshots of her. 2 days. That's all she was in there. 2 days. She's clear. She was arrested for an Antifa event that she went to and was vandalizing shit. Nothing else past that. Because she knows it. She knows that she has ties. She has ties. They wouldn't give that.
On Joe too, man. Oh, God.
You know, this kid, the comparison, the only thing I can see in comparison is that if you want to compare anything, is that they were both innocent. But I don't know that they were both innocent because I don't know what happened with the case.
And there's not much that they put out in that documentary that Jay-Z did, other than he said it wasn't his. I think maybe there was a witness that said something about him not being the person that did it, but they kept him in jail, locked up, because they were waiting for his trial to happen. Eventually, none of that stuff ever happened because he got a lawyer to help him out, and they dropped all the charges. But that's the extent of the case for me. I haven't been able to find anything else. All it is one got publicized, because best believe if Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't publicized, we wouldn't all be sitting here talking about it, and it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, but what was the reason Kyle was publicized? It wasn't because he was good. He got publicized because he was a racist white dude shooting people in the streets for protesting. He did not get popularized because he was defending himself. That's what we knew happened. What he got popular for was, he went into a crowd with a gun and shot and killed 2 people. There is no real comparison because one was actionable and one was an arrest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if Jay-Z really did want justice for this man, Jay-Z would get the justice system reformed, like he says. The problem is the justice system, but reform it then. but his interest is not in reforming it, then who would buy his music? No one's gonna. He's putting himself out of business if he reforms the system. I hope people see this. The reason people like Jay-Z, any of the rappers at all that you see stay on that side, don't want the system changed, is because if the system changes, their livelihood goes down the tubes. They don't want the ghetto gone. They don't want poverty removed. They want it kept there, they want it sustained. They want it controlled so that their propaganda can still get pushed. They can still have their job. They made their monies on the backs of an enslaved race.
Facts,
and they
man.
want to keep it that way. That's why they hate people like Kanye, who comes out and says, think for yourself, be free. What you doing, bro? You messing with my money. What are you doing? You want to come and create change in the system. Man, shut up, you coon. Come on now. Come on now.
And
nobody wants to talk about it, bro. Nobody.
That's why I did this show, because I want to show how little these Black leaders, Black politicians, Black celebrities, how little they think of Black people, in my opinion, to compare this to something totally different and not even go after the justice system that did it, but you go after a race of people and say, you get better treatment because you're white. It's a disservice because you're not really fixing the fucking issue, which is the criminal justice system. They talk about systems all the time and then they don't attack any system that's plaguing them.
You hit on that. You hit on that dead on. You hit on that dead on. And like I said, it's because they don't really want it changed. It's no different than people that sue for money. They're not suing for the change of it. They want something out of it. Okay, take for instance, let's put it this way. If I had been attacked on the street and the system came to me, I got arrested, mind you, because this happens. I got arrested because the person that attacked me said I instigated it.
Yeah.
So the cops show up and arrest me. The person that attacked me is white and I'm Black. The first thing that people will come out and say, oh, it's because the system is biased towards Black people and he got arrested because he was Black. Okay. If I were like normal people, I would have said that must be what it is. Then I come to find out that that guy knew the cop. It had nothing to do with race. I have two choices at that point. I could go to court and say, hey, this person and that cop colluded to get him out of trouble by having me arrested. And I can prove their history again. Or I can say, you know, it's because I'm Black. I guarantee you I would get more money and more press from saying that I was arrested because I was Black than if I said the truth. And that should tell you something about who really runs everything. If I can get a narrative that fits something that will funnel money, I'm in. I'm in business, which is why rap makes music, which is why the mainstream media makes money. It all, you know, it works in harmony with each other, and they can't get rid of one and maintain the other. And again, this is why Trump is so dangerous. This is why Trump is so dangerous. If you want to talk about systematic anything, it's systematic corruption, okay? If I'm an outside guy and I see something going completely rotten in Denmark, and I go into Denmark and I say, you know what, I'm going to take this thing out that's rotten. And someone comes and say, hey, don't touch that. Why not? Well, that's what's keeping people away from where we keep our money. It's rotten right in front of the safe because we take their money and put it in the safe. They're not going to come near the safe because that thing is rotten right there. The instant you take that away, you're going to give them reason to see what we're doing.
Yep.
That's why they hate President Trump. They want to keep things rotten in Denmark so they can keep their coffers full. It takes a billionaire to do this because he's not losing anything from doing this. I mean, yeah, he's losing 4 years of income. He's losing 4 years of income. He hasn't made him. He's lost his rank in Forbes, by the way. He hasn't gone up. He's gone down. Every other politician enters empty and leaves. You want to know why they hate him? You want to know why the Russia collusion? You want to know why they have the rape allegations popping up every so often with no proof, but they have to put it out in the audience? He is there to disrupt what's been going on both Republican and the Democrat side. And you'll see them pop their head up out of the blue. Hey, you can't be doing that. And hey, you can't say that. And hey, you can't, and you can't, and you can't. They don't love the man because he's getting rid of what their money comes from. Who wants that? If I'm living a corrupt life, I want to keep that shit. Don't take that from me. That's mine.
Thank you. I feel like this stuff is so obvious. This is so obvious. Anybody that was watching politics up until Trump, as soon as Trump got the nomination and you watched how people reacted, there is no way alarms didn't sound in your head because America was never like that. When is the last time we saw America, almost half of America, plus our mainstream media, go so hard at trying to take down one man? People on different sides of this fence got together. Fox and CNN got together and was like,
think about that.
Take this. He's got to go.
Because the thing is, Fox making their money too. Fox makes their money off of disagreeing with CNN.
It's propaganda, people. Wake up. Come on. It's not that hard. None of this isn't even... Yes, this is the shit we seen in the movies, and they put it in the movies, but on purpose. This is all they...
Mockingbird. Mockingbird.
What are they called? CIA got together with Disney. They came together with
Operation
the motion
Mockingbird.
picture.
Yes.
There you go. That's what it's called. And it's you're looking at it because you got, oh my God, that's a movie. No, it's reality. They put it in a movie for you to think it was so far-fetched. Minority Report. All them AI movies that was dropping when they have a huge hub, Dominion, thrives on one remote hub. That's not AI right there.
Guys are getting played. It ain't even a fun game.
I don't get it. Dominion is one hub that you can remotely access to anywhere on planet Earth. But I'm
going to go work for Dominion. I might get a good job there.
Look, I would not be able to sleep at night. I would be singing. So I'm telling on all y'all. I'm telling.
Hey, so understand that it's supposed to be next week that the Kraken's supposed to come out the bag. Okay.
Next week.
That's what she was saying. They're dropping everything next week.
Well, drum roll. Let's get ready.
We'll see if it happens. But they say they have. What I had heard her say, she's not putting anything else more out there for anybody, and I agree. She doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Not give any more information. They're just gonna
listen. Thailand media will always operate as media. Do we have some media with integrity? Absolutely.
Some.
But it's media. You don't depend on the media to tell you nothing. Look the shit up yourself. The media can get on TV and say Donald Trump lost today. And you could best believe Sunni is going to, let me look at a few other sites. Okay, let me look here. I'm going to go look at the official election results. And if it doesn't say Joe Biden, guess what? It ain't Joe Biden.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Their goal eventually was to, even if you check those sites, it would tell you what they want you to know.
Yeah.
The whole reason Dominion and those people are involved in the election is to eventually, which is why Trump being there is so important, is to eventually limit any information to you. The only thing you can get from any source, even if you went to the government website, would be to find what they want you to find. So even if you were to put your vote in, it changes it. You're only going to see what they changed it to. You're not going to see the right information, and that's why them being exposed is such a big deal. I think this thing goes all the way back to when Obama won.
Yes.
From what I was hearing, that technically he didn't really win. You understand? This thing goes all the way back there. So when you see this thing drops, apparently there's not just that. There's a ring that they're trying to expose, a pedophilia ring too, in all of this. That they're dropping as well. That includes a bunch of Democrats, Republicans, foreign actors.
Look, it seems crazy to you because they put this shit in movies. They entertain the fuck out of you with things. You like, ooh, that's some crazy stuff, man. That'll never happen in America. And do. It's happening in America and you don't even realize it. And somebody told you on TV.
Did he read the manual yet? He read the manual?
I don't know.
Direct him to the manual. Post the manual and direct him to it. Go online, Thailand. Go online.
Can I show it on here because they have an NDA on the very first page?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You can go to they have on the web the manual for the Dominion voting system online, and it directly tells you all the stuff that she said in her press conference. In their manual of how they train people, they have it because they believe people are so dumb they won't go look for it. That's what they're banking on. They are banking on people being dumb. Bro, when you read it, what she's saying won't seem so crazy. It will not seem crazy. It'll be like, oh, damn, she was right. Like, yeah, she's correct.
The very first page, the very first PDF, I was like, whoa. This is happening in America.
They redacted the author's names of the manual. Why would you redact the author's name, bro? Why?
I don't care.
Why?
Let's blow it open, Marlon. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
That's destructo.
This is the schematics of Dominion. This is how it all works. Notice there's one large hub where all the data goes. Everything else is remote.
And you see what it's called? You see what it's called?
Duh. Democracy suite powers the entire system.
Bro, fiction is stranger than reality.
And then, like he was talking about the image cast. The image cast is also remote. So they can put whatever the fuck they want to put on your screen, and you think you're voting for who you're voting for, but it don't go like that into this here system right here, the data.
That's right. They change it.
Why would
they can change it?
Okay. Okay. And this is up for everybody to read. You can go read
this. This is online, guys. Online. Look. When I tell you, when you read it, you're gonna get so mad. You're gonna be so pissed. Like you will want to throw something at your computer. You'll grab your phone, toss it across the room. you will become a tinfoil hat man overnight, just like that. You believe everything after that point. You be like, okay, everything else is real. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and find out underpants gnomes exist. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and find that out.
This is adjudication. So you're really expecting people to make sure that all this shit is legit. When you cheat on the side of it.
I'm gonna do something here, see if I still have it.
Okay. Suni, where do we find it? I'm going to prepare. I'll do that right now. Right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll give you the site. It's an actual government website, by the way.
Yes, it is. I don't care if I get censored for this. Actually, I hope you guys share the shit out of this video.
sos.state.co.us. sos.state.co.us. Colorado Secretary of State. sos.state.co.us.
While you're taking that down, share this video. I put the link up on a post that I just posted. You can find it there also. And
It's
you can
also on
do-
mine. I put it up on my page and on my personal page.
I should put this on what is it called? Parlor. I'm gonna call it Periscope.
I put it on TikTok.
You put it on TikTok?
Yep. Man, I'm blasting this shit all over the place. Nobody's getting away with this. I'm putting it everywhere. Everywhere.
That is $1 million question, Cindy. Since all this stuff is coming out, where is Dominion?
They are gone.
Has gone silent.
They are gone.
What's going to happen
rogue.
is they're going to use their scapegoat, Eric Coomer.
But they
Coomer
can't.
did this. Why not?
They can't because they have all the servers.
Oh, you're right. Damn. They're gonna try. Listen, they're gonna try to distance themselves as much as they can. You know they are.
Who was it that said it? Was it Bad Boys? You federally effed now?
The fraud will be with the
they're
software.
federally. They're screwed federally now.
Yes, they lawyered up. I put out the video the day they lawyered up when Pennsylvania came out and was like, look, we asked them to be transparent. We asked them, can we see if certain things? And they said, zip my lips. I'm getting a lawyer.
That's right. Zip my lip. Zip my lip.
I don't know nothing. Talk to my lawyer.
I know nothing. I see nothing.
This is just the intro.
Debbie, when you read this thing, I tell you, okay, just make sure you don't have coffee. You don't have nothing in your hand except your phone. And no sharp objects, you know. Stay a far distance from it. Don't break it. Show them the first page with the redactions.
Okay. This is what really alarms me. Okay, this is the security part of it.
Was that the one I read to you?
I don't think you read this to me. This is me just being a nerd, and I wanted to know what type of encryption they had on the software. I was just curious. So I'm reading it. I'm like talking to my husband. I'm like, babe, they're using the standard. Now, no one has been able to hack this. Okay. But this is a standard encryption for any operating system you have right now. Anything. I'm like, what the fuck? I think that they would go 10 times harder and up the encryption on this because you're using it for elections. Now, this is a very secure system, like I said. But I'm going to cover my eyes. I'm going to cover my ass as Dominion.
Okay, hang on.
And not get caught laughing like this. Like, the encryption on tablets is insane. I wish I had Manny come on here and explain this because he would do it better than I can. Bruh.
Someone, okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to send this to you, okay? And you can play this.
Okay.
This is your boy. Your boy made a video about this. Glenn Beck did.
Oh, I love Glenn Beck.
Okay, so he was saying that he talked to a tech expert who said that it was very easy to hack, which is what it's saying that it is. But there was also, I don't think it's in this one, but I'll have to find it. I know I saw it before. There was a teenager who just used his phone and was able to get into one of the machines.
Well, I
Just
said
a phone.
it's the standard encryption. It's why would you do that? That was
But
so cringy when I
it
read that.
mentions it. It mentions it in the manual that all they needed was a Galaxy tablet.
Really? I didn't read that
They
part.
say
I didn't get that
it
far.
in there. Well, they say it in there.
Oh my god.
They say it in there. Look at the very beginning. You'll see it near the beginning. Look at the first one, the first PDF. You'll see what it requires.
This is the first one.
Let me see if I can find the one I'm talking about here.
Image cast is the mobile ballot printing. Guys, you're seeing a live reaction to like people actually
logging in. Here we go.
Bro. So did we vote for Hugo Chavez? Who knows who the fuck we've been voting for?
All right. Here's what they need for setup. Okay. Right after the redactions. This is what the setup is.
Let me pull it
This
up.
document assumes election tabulated files. Election tabulation files for the image cast are delivered to the customer and loaded onto the server and device. Additionally, this document assumes that the election official performs the duties outlined within this document. The following equipment is needed to set up VSP. Galaxy Tablet Pro 12 point running image cast, a magnetic card reader, Armadillo Sphere and enclosure, the VSPC server, laptop or computer, a printer, Telca device, and 88 voters, paddles, joystick, audio setup, and Dell Power Connect. That's just a cord, okay? It's one of those series cords. It's an antiquated way of getting set up with a very robust backup system that anyone can get into that they define that needs to get in. It literally lets you download a predetermined configuration to the machine based on its developer. They will send a configuration to the device. No one double checks that configuration. It's not double checked by the government. It's not run through any security features, nothing. You remember they were talking about that memory card that people were missing that the guy didn't put in? It's not the memory card. That is not what, it's a USB stick with pre-loaded configurations for the algorithms. If y'all are this dumb to believe that the election wasn't stolen, y'all need to just remove what's in your head. Just remove it.
Why is it? Do you know how crazy this seemed in movies when people like you and I got together and told the public, like, bro, you're being lied to? It was so epic when they did it. When I do it, I'm like, duh. Hello.
You guys see this, right? They're literally telling you what they do. They are literally telling you how this goes. They download a software program to a tablet and use the laptop to run interference between what is getting sent from their headquarters to the laptop, to the interface on the tablet, and preloaded onto a voting machine. And not only that, once it's on the machine, it can be remote accessed at any point in time.
Let's show you again. This is the hub and how it works. This is oh my god, you guys. I know you guys. Some people, I guess, aren't just, I don't know. Me and Marlon are nerds, right? I like going to look stuff like this up, and I want to read manuals and see what they say.
It's messed up to me. I mean, I did this stuff. I did biometrics when I was installing electronic stuff, right? So I did security for about 8 years. And I'm talking about biometrics, scan readers, can tech, door, all of it, right? Thumbprints, all of it. So this stuff is not, okay, understand this is not far-fetched, okay? We have remote access for doors. We have remote access for card access. We have remote access for phone. So here's how this works. If I were the installer and I put in a card reader and biometric scanner for both eyes and thumbs, when I put that in, I have a preloaded card that I put and attach to the system. It reads the customer's information that's already preloaded, loads it onto the device. From there, I get their thumb initialized, their eye initialized. I still have remote access to that panel from my company because the company that used me to get it gave me their user and password information. And they also signed an agreement for me to have remote access in case it needs to be repaired. From that remote access, I can then implant my own fingerprint as a sub-program. So if I want access, I just have to use my fingerprint. If I never change it, I will continually have access to that place and it will never set off an alarm. Okay? Never. I can also go in and change the configuration for when my thumbprints work and don't work. For when theirs work and don't work. I can change the reaction time remotely for all features on that device. It is the exact same thing they're doing with this voting machine. The only difference is there's no biometrics. It's all algorithm based. FYI. So this is not far-fetched. It's not crazy. This is how it works. This is just how it works. It is messed up, but that's how they do it.
What is that movie where they're attacking the the software because she is going nuts? Everything runs on this software, and I think this either the city or the state, something is powering these AI.
That's almost every AI movie.
And what the hell was her name? It was like it was a real popular movie, and it was a girl. Well, the 100. Have you ever watched the 100?
Mm-mm.
It's a good show. You got to check it out. Essentially, America in the far, far future is ran by this program. And she hacked into the military system and did a whole bunch of destroying. Right? They spend the first 2 or 3 seasons of this show. And if you saw the 100, please let me know. Trying to take down this software that is controlling life. Like, it was some high-tech shit. This is what it reminds me of. Like I said, they put it on the TV for you to feel like that would never happen. And then we get entertained by it. And then when somebody comes out and they tell you this, like, bruh, all this is remote. And it's on one deluxe suite system, Democracy Suite. It powers the entire system. And we can't find those memory cards and all the information attached to it. We just can't find it now. It was stolen.
Who's trying to find out my name in the chat? What's going on? I see my name pop up twice. Why my name popping up?
Oh, people probably want to know who you are. This is Marlon Brown.
Negro. I'm that Negro.
He's not black.
I'm that Negro. I'm that black guy. I'm that one Negro you can't talk over.
Poker nut. Corey's
Poker
out of
nut.
town. I told him to come on, but he was busy.
Corey's recording, man.
Who? He knows Sunni will hand it his ass. What? What are you guys talking about in the comment section? Now I'm curious.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. There's all kind of stuff going on we missing.
We're just like yapping. You both are great to listen to. Thank you. You have to. Oh, I have an admirer. Who is it? Point him out.
She admiring you?
You have an admirer in the chat. She did not know who you were. Oh, you do, Marlon.
Wait, I'm black? No, I'm not black. That's I said I'm a Negro. It's a major difference.
You gave him a nickname last week? Who? Slow Motion Joe?
Slow Motion Joe. What's up, Heavenly?
Oh God, Tylen's learning from me. He's getting red pilled, as we know. It's all right.
It's slow, but I saw him comment something about it, so he's getting there.
Yeah.
This might throw him over the edge and smash his head wide open because this stuff is nonsense to me. I mean, like literally, you could look at this and still be a Democrat. You have no hope after this. There's nothing gonna save you.
Especially
You're gonna
when
stay
you
like that
know,
the rest of your life.
you know how tech works. Like you know certain things are very vulnerable to attack. You don't even essentially have to know how tech works to realize how fucked up this is. And like when you figure out, okay, this is what Dominion is. Okay, so now they can't find that memory card. There's been a huge glitch in other places, and people are not denying that a glitch happened. If you notice that, they don't deny it not one bit. It was a glitch. So then fix the fucking glitch so we can go about life. Isn't it that simple? Fix the glitch.
No.
Show that you won fair and square, and let's move on with life.
I know, Superman not here. No. Oh man.
Oh God. Hawk is on here. What's up, Hawk? How you doing?
Wanna hawk a loogie?
He said no pills, only plants. Well, I'm about to give you a plant-based pill, and it's the red pill.
He gonna be vegan in a minute.
Red pill tonight,
vegan
buddy.
in a minute. Go
It's
straight up
plant-based.
vegan. All the plants you could eat, we gonna give it to you.
This is a pill that came from Jesus, all right? He wanted us all to know the truth. So a Jesus pill is a plant-based pill, okay? So just take the red pill, Thailand. Just take it. It's all right. The more you fight it, the harder it hurts. The worse it hurts, I'm telling you. You feel worse when you fight against the truth because you're sitting here trying to find 1,000 different ways to disprove everything I said here. That's what I would go do. I would try to purposely go prove people wrong. He said, what? Doing okay. I had to harvest the whole greenhouse alone. Man, I would come out there and be like, oh, let me get a few buds, man. He runs his own, pretty much a dispensary for medicinal use of cannabis. You guys check him out. Cannabis is not a drug. All right? Cannabis helps me figure out this stuff so that I can dissect it and come talk to you. Outside of that, my brain would be like mush. This world makes your brain mush. I will look into it. People are telling them to spit out the haterade and swallow a MAGA pill. Don't say MAGA. If you put MAGA in front of it, he really won't want it. This makes me so mad. Did you read this? Secure electronic ballot delivery, ballot audit middle, risk limiting audit. So it's somewhere in between here and this phase, because it all works like this. This is where your ballot gets secured.
Or at least a ballot gets secured. It may not have been yours anymore.
A ballot.
May not be yours anymore.
All ballots tabulated on ImageCast. So it takes a picture at the front of the ballot, and I'm assuming this is how this works. And people at the desktops that are on the computers, they're certifying all this. So all them people that was putting in them fake ass ballots at the polling stations, I hope they need to all go to jail. Everybody that participated in the 2020 election, y'all all, you need to get locked down. Prison system need to be full of y'all. This is crazy.
So there was a question earlier on I saw about the courts and the SCOTUS has got a sign to certain cases within this whole debacle here.
Oh
And yet,
yeah.
two of the ones that Trump
Appointed.
signed and then put in are over it, and that's ACB and Kavanaugh.
Yeah, he
And then
wasted it.
there's, what's his name? Clarence Thomas is over one of the cases too. So,
Pennsylvania. No, Georgia. He's over Georgia.
so we got some interesting things going on over there.
Where
But
is that
if they
at? Somebody sent
to
it to
drop
me, but
next
I
week,
lost it.
you gonna see some.
You think people are going to believe everything now? Do you think people are going to finally wake up after all this?
No. But it will be enough to overturn stuff. That's all I care about. They don't got to believe.
Yeah.
I keep telling people the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. You see, the truth doesn't require you to believe it to be the truth. It remains the truth whether you believe it or not. It doesn't change.
Doesn't change. I did vote, but our votes have still not been counted. And they're saying that Joe won. So now you're leaving out the people that fight for you on the front lines, our soldiers. Now you're leaving them out. Okay.
Nicole, you a fool, dude.
What did she say? She sent funny pics. I've seen that. Please show Kim. Who is Kim? Who is Kim Clement?
Oh my God, girl, you clown. You are straight clown.
Who
The
is Kim
minions.
Clement?
I can get 10 free.
Trump prophecy.
Oh my God, girl, you a clown. You a clown.
Do you know who this Kim Clement is? I feel like I'm on my own right now.
Is he the one that prophesied it back in 1997 or something like that, or 87?
Shit, I don't know.
No, I'm asking.
2007.
That's what it is.
2007 prophecy. I guess he They're asking me to play it. I don't know what it is, and I'm not real big.
Yeah,
with
he passed
people.
away, and he said it. He actually said that President Trump was going to be president for a term.
Where is it? I want to watch it now. Minister and prophet. Enemy of the State. That was a dope ass movie. And yes, that was government, CIA, big tech, all of them working together, tracking one man. They found him everywhere he was on the fucking map because they had cameras all over America.
Enemy of the State.
Okay.
That's what it is. Enema of the State.
Enema? Enemy.
Enemy. Enema. Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
I've never seen this. Am I gonna laugh or am I gonna feel like
No. You will. It'll freak you out.
Okay. Well, this is my first time reacting to this. Dun dun dun.
Blind reaction
has ended. Hear me, for I have found a man after my own heart. I have found a man after my own heart, and he is amongst you. The highest court in the land, the Supreme Court. Two shall step
Oh
down.
shit! This was in 2014.
Listen carefully.
Of what shall take place.
Back it up and listen to what he just said. Back it up.
Land, righteousness. Two amongst you. The highest court in the land, the Supreme Court. Two shall step down. For the embarrassment of what shall take place. For I wish to place in the highest court in the land righteousness. And they shall attempt to put others in to endeavor, to reach their endeavors. But God says, hear me tonight. Hear me today. I have this whole thing planned out according to my will For it is now time for me to restore the fortunes of Zion. I couldn't quite see his face because that was not allowed, because there was a mist that covered all the people and he was amongst them. And the Spirit of God made me look at him, and he said, this man will throttle the enemies of Israel. This man will throttle the enemies of the West. And there are highly embarrassing moments that are about to occur for many, many politicians in this nation. There'll be a shaking amongst the Democrats in the upcoming elections, but unsettling for the Republicans. Why is God doing this? For God said, I am dissatisfied with what emerges from both parties. And then there is a nation, he showed me, took me, itching for a new kind of war with America. They will shout, impeach, impeach, they say. But nay.
Right?
This nation shall come very subtly. But he shall not come in the time of President Obama. They shall come when this new one arises, my David, that I have set aside for this nation.
I got chills.
A man of prayer, a man of choice words, not a man who is verbose, who has verbosity, who speaks too much. They will even say, this man is not speaking enough. But God says, I have set him aside. They will shout, impeach, impeach. But this shall not happen. And then God says, highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises. And people will become very afraid.
Who's that next Snowden?
No protection. And then God says, am I impressed?
Hunter Biden.
The next Snowden was WikiLeaks.
Oh, Julian Assange.
Yes. Yes. The only thing that he said one thing in this coming later on about Bill Gates and his money, right? That he was going to be the one funneling a lot of his money will be used for good. And I was like, what? No. What do you mean? What?
No. Uh-oh. I'm going to play the rest of this. I don't know. He froze.
With your weapons of war, am I impressed with the strength of your men's legs? Ha! I have said I will bring this nation to its knees. The man that I have raised up, pray. For the enemy will do everything in his power to put a witch in the White House. Did anybody hear what he just said? For Jezebel has chased away the prophets and even Elijah. Now I have said, go back. For this shall be dismantled so that there will be no more corruption in the White House, says the Spirit. This that shall take place shall be the most unusual thing. A transfiguration. A going into the marketplace, if you wish, into the news media, where Time Magazine will have no choice but to say what I want them to say. Newsweek, what I want to say. The View, what I want to say. Trump shall become a trumpet, says the Lord. Trump shall become a trumpet. I will raise up the Trump to become a trumpet, and Bill Gates to open up the gate of the financial realm for the church, says the Lord. I will not forget 9/11. I will not forget what took place that day, and I will not forget the gatekeeper that watched over New York, who will once again stand and watch over this nation, says the Spirit of God.
Wow.
It shall come to pass
Talking about Rudy
that the
Giuliani.
man that I place in the highest office shall go in whispering my name. But God said when he enters into the office, he will be shouting out by the power of the Spirit, for I shall fill him with my Spirit when he goes into office. And there will be a praying man in the highest seat in your land. There will be a praying president, not a religious one. But I will fool the people, says the Lord. I will fool the people. Yes, I will. God says, the one that is chosen shall go in, and they shall say, he has hot blood. For the Spirit of God says, yes, he may have hot blood, but he will bring the walls of protection on this country in a greater way, and the economy of this country shall change rapidly, says the Lord of hosts. Listen to the word of the Lord. God says, I will put at your helm for 2 terms a president that will pray, but he will not be a praying president when he starts. I will put him in office, and then I will baptize him with the Holy Spirit and my power, says the Lord of hosts. Come on!
Hold on. Wow. Wait, that was the end of it. Oh, well. I have never seen that. Wow. That's crazy. Man, that was like some next level stuff.
Can't hear you yet. Hold on.
Okay.
My phone died, so.
Yeah, because I've never heard of this guy, number one. He says the very same things we talk about. That's what's so like, I've never heard of him. All the stuff we talk about, he's saying it. And then the fact that he's talked about Rudy Giuliani helping out too. It's crazy.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. There
Okay,
are
good.
other, what is it called? Trump is Joseph. Sydney Powell just said it's biblical.
Yeah, she said the info she's going to drop is going to be biblical.
What was I watching? It had Kenneth Powell and another pastor praying about COVID-19. Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland. Yes. I'm sorry.
Where he blew?
Yeah.
People are making fun of that one.
There's another one. He's standing up there with another pastor. What the hell is his name? Christians are now immune to coronavirus.
No, we're not.
Trump isn't a church. He said that in the prophecy. He said he won't start out that way. Gotta listen, man. Paula White. She's yeah. Yeah. Paula White. I don't understand what's going on with that there.
Well, I know what's going on with it. I mean, but people just don't. It's not for everybody.
Dog, when she was up there speaking in tongues, I'm like, what the?
I've heard
are
it
you
before.
saying?
I have heard people speak in tongues before.
My mother
And it-
did when I was growing up. It's
and it
scary.
is a legit thing. It is a very legit thing, and I can tell you from first-hand experience that it's a legit thing.
But you were supposed to have a translator there to translate what you're saying.
We don't know that she didn't. All they were showing was her.
This. I grew up in a Baptist church. I didn't see demons cast out of people. I have seen the supernatural. I've had experiences with it myself.
Yep.
And what Miss Paula White did was not the utterance from the Holy Spirit. Nah, not what she sat there and did on stage. I have that. On that part, I have to speak up.
I have seen that exact same thing myself. So I'm just saying, okay? Just saying.
Where is it? It's going to bother me unless I see it again. I said, get her. Yeah, I did. I said, get her the fuck away from the president. Because that shit was off. Has anybody seen Paula White? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Isn't she black?
No.
Yes, she is.
Ain't she black? No.
She black.
If somebody knows where the Trump Joseph one is, send it with me. Sophie, I finally agree with you. Who's Sophie?
Raylan said she inboxed you.
Oh, she did. Okay. What'd you send me? Why don't I ever see it?
You're getting quarried. Is my video stagnant or is it okay?
No, your video's it's good. It's
Okay.
good.
I might have to do this from now on. The sound better too?
Yeah. Just hear you real clear.
That's my microphone. See, that's
nice. Sounds good. I'm like, damn, he sounds clear.
Finally something sounds good about what he's saying.
I can't find it, guys, and I don't see your message, Raylan.
Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot.
Now, everybody, you're entitled to believe what you want to believe.
Right.
I grew up Baptist. I've been around my whole life. And that lady, I done been around some white folks that believe in the Holy Spirit, filled with the Holy Ghost, uttered. I used to do it, Terry, for the Holy Spirit. And that's just not what she was doing. I don't know what to make of it. Where is it? It's going to bother me.
I hope you never find it.
You hope I never find it? I'm going to find it.
I hope it stress you out.
My husband's the one who sent it to me, so you need to blame him. He's like, look at this. What the fuck is this? I'm like, huh? It's going to make me just go ahead and F it and say, YouTube, help me out. What is her name? Paula White.
Pull the white over your eyes.
Yeah, like, and I do not believe that women should assume any type of leadership roles in the church.
You a hater.
Nah, that's biblical. He said you a hater. You ever wonder what preachers sound like when they forget what to say? That's exactly what she sounded like. I found it. Kat Kerr. I'll check these people out later.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And I'm like, huh?
And she's not the spiritual advisor to the president.
Jesus, in the name of Jesus, let every idol altar, let every false altar that has been erected, let it come down. Let it be burned by the fire of God right now in the name of Jesus. Let every
Bruh, this pisses me off because you're not even serious. Like, oh, if you get the Holy Spirit, fine. If you speak in tongues and you have that ability, fine. All right?
Sunni.
But don't do this crap here. Come on, bro.
Sunni, stop hating and listen.
Dog.
You're missing the blessing if you just
altar, let every false altar that has been erected, let it come down. Let it be burned by the fire of God right now in the name of Jesus. Let every worship the Lord. Worship the Lord, for the Lord demands.
You wanted to hear it. Why are you stopping it? Don't be stopping it now.
I can't, bro.
Sunni, play the whole thing, bruh. Play the whole thing.
In Jesus' name.
There's still.
Come on, get up and start praying, start walking, start praying, start walking, start praying. Lord, Mahanda Akasata, in the name of Jesus, Makatara Bakata, Hamanda Aka Ata Rakate, Akasata Ata Ambo Osakata Rite Eke Banda Ata Rite Tidi Ashata. Angelic forces, angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement. Pika hata anda ata. Oh
God, I can't, bro.
Sunni, ask her what she's saying, and then you can.
She don't even know what she's saying.
Then you can judge. Yes, you do.
Oh my God.
She's saying, that one thing. The thing.
Okay. I'm going to leave this alone because my discernment is telling me that this broad has got some stuff going on. And I don't think she's hearing nothing from God right now. She's a prosperity message pastor.
No,
I grew up. No, dog. They in it for the money. Mary said, I got to go pee now. No. This is why we don't get taken serious as believers, because you put this woman as a pastor of a church, and I absolutely think that goes against what the Bible teaches. We are not to assume the role that men assume. We just don't do that. We are a helpmate to the man. So play your role. Play your role.
Women, shut up. That's what Sunni's trying to tell y'all.
No.
Y'all need to shut up.
Does anybody else? Maybe I'm just old school because I was raised that way.
You are kind of old school though.
She was bringing out and releasing the spirit of jealousy. I can't get with it, dog.
She said she can't get with it.
I don't have your messages in my links. What are these links? Shamika Michelle, who's that? I want to get off here.
The black version of Miss White.
No, I think you're lying.
Me, I tell only truths all day long.
Hey, I like her already.
You don't like her because she's black.
Yes. I agree. I've tried to listen to female leaders and I'm not comfortable with it. It seems off because most of the time, they're not giving you a spiritual guidance from God. And this is how I feel because I've grown up around female elders, pastors my whole life. And they don't give you sound advice. It's feelings. Sorry.
I'm gonna send you the lady we have over here. I'm gonna send you to
Okay.
her stuff, and you can tell me if how she comes across to you.
Now, if there are women that are ministers in the church and you're talking, fine. But to be the head of a church, bruh.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll send it to you. You can see.
Okay.
Yeah. And you see
Again, maybe I'm old school.
You'll see how much of a hater you really are, Kasuni.
I'm being a hater?
Just straight up, man. Just
No way.
In the words of that good old wonderful Christian woman, a hater's gonna hate.
Talking about Taylor Swift. Okay. I only know that because my daughters like her music.
And I'm just gonna shake it.
Oh my
off,
gosh.
Shake it off. Shake it
Where'd
off.
the sound go?
I'm back here.
I don't know. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me anymore? I'm not muted. You still
I
muted?
grew up Baptist. I can't hear you.
What the hell?
Now I can. Look, Terry said you old school, girl. Damn, y'all calling me old?
Yep.
The Lord never changes. We may change, but the Lord don't.
That don't matter that you're not old school. You're still old school. That doesn't change that you're not old school. So you see, you're still old school. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, you kind of are. You kind of.
I think that's being real, though.
That's being racist. That's all it is.
Now he's trolling. He's trolling.
I do not troll. I scroll.
Yes, Sunni definitely needs to look this up. Look what up. All I hear is Kim Clement now. Wow. I couldn't find the Joseph one. I would be interested to listening to one more of his whatever that is, a prophecy, because I've never heard of this guy. And when you type him in, this is all that comes up.
Can you still hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sexist, not racist. Damn, I'm a sexist. How can a woman be a sexist?
Easy. Hate men. Duh.
Those aren't women. Those are things. I don't know what the hell they are.
What, men?
Those women don't act like that.
As the haters going to hate.
Whoa. Kim, her name is Kat Kerr. Have you ever heard of this lady?
Shake it off. Shake it off. No.
I don't know who she is. Her hair is bothering me.
I stay up too late. Got nothing in my brain.
Oh, God.
That's what people say.
Sunni, look up. You guys are pulling me in so many different directions. I don't know what to do.
Sunni, look it up. Look it up. Now.
What's this? What's that? What do I look up? Are you ready for your red pill, Tylen? He said, y'all are trying to shove it down my throat. Yes, we are. Take this. Take it.
Eat
the
it.
cake.
Eat it.
You're not old school, Sunni. You're right on. Thank you, Patrick. You're on my side.
Patrick, quit trying to study. Quit defending her. Okay, that's it. You're blocked.
You're done. Bye. What's the latest on Rittenhouse? He's out on bond.
He's free. Give us free.
Give us free. Trump quotes a Bible verse. Oh my God. They highlight everything this man does. Last
dare he?
prophetic word over America. Has anybody heard that? Well, what is that? Deception will be exposed. How many of you believe this? Is this something that you believe, Marlon?
What?
What this guy said?
Which guy?
Kim.
Yes, I believe all of it. Like I said, the only thing before I got cut off by the algorithms was the Bill Gates thing.
Yeah, so did I. I'm like, huh? There's no way.
But the way
said
he
his
phrased
money.
it, that's what I said. The way he phrased it was not that Bill Gates himself is going to do any good, but his money is going to be used. That doesn't mean Bill Gates is still going to be around. So I don't know.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of goosebumps. Like, I kept having waves of goosebumps come over me as I was watching that. No joke. Because, yeah,
the fact that he predicted Trump in 2014 when nothing was being spoken about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And he didn't say
and the impeach nonsense. That was to me was the
that sent me over the edge. Then I was like,
because no one expected that to be happening. Really, I'm sorry, but no one was thinking, oh, that's what they're going to go for is impeachment.
well, we'll watch this one and then I'm hopping off to go eat because I'm hungry.
When this nation began, people lived in their fields, prayed to their God, gave their hands, their feet, and then their blood for this nation that I call precious, my darling America. I was there as they stood as families together, watching loved ones die. I was there. Hear the notes of the violin, for they played and brought sounds from nations in Europe, Britain, and then created their own sound. America, you have imitated nobody, for I created you unique. Where were they when men stood together and signed the Declaration of Independence? Where were they when they said, under God, one God? I was there, says the Lord. And today, there is still a remnant that will not bow to the naturalists, to the secular humanists, to the atheists. No, it is not time for the destruction of this nation. There will come a time where the wrath of God shall be poured out upon the nations of the earth. But today, I will bring recovery and restoration. And once again, America will sing my songs and pray my prayers and declare, under God we stand, says the Lord. Says the Lord. Says the Lord. Do not be afraid of the nations, for in 2016, everything will change, says the Lord. There will be a sound of liberty from the White House. There will be a sound of praise from the White House. Pennsylvania Avenue shall be surrounded by people that will pray and ask me to intervene. And I shall, says the Lord. It is the sound of the enemies of America living in America. Those are your greatest enemies, who call themselves citizens, please, who call themselves citizens but they are enemies of the cross and enemies of the nation, and they shall be dealt with. You want judgment, says the Lord? What?
Really, Facebook? I mean, what is that? YouTube?
Watch the atheists. Watch. You want judgment? Then watch those that have risen up against me and said, perhaps we shall embrace Ba'Allah. Perhaps we shall embrace that religion. Maybe we shall embrace Sharia law. Ha! I laugh at you because the spirit of Elijah is in this nation, and Jezebel shall not stand, says the Lord. Come on! Shout the victory! Blow the trumpet, blow the shofar! Blow it! For there shall be a combination of the sound of Israel and the sound of the United States of America. A new sound. And I will take the Spanish music and I will take the Latin and I will put it together, and a unique generation will begin to rap and begin to sing with a combination of the sound of Israel and the sound of America and the sound of Central America and the sound of South America, says the Lord. Go again. The sound of the shofar from Israel and the sound of the trumpet from America. Am Israel Chai! Am Israel Chai! Am America Chai! You become Am Israel Chai!
Am Israel Chai!
America Chai!
America Chai!
Today, as you have spoken to us, Lord,
היום שדיברת אל כולנו
about Israel
על ישראל
and America,
ואמריקה,
we take your words into our heart.
אנחנו לוקחים את המילים שלך לתוך ליבנו.
We shall not fear.
לא נפחד.
The words of men,
העולם היה,
the swords of men,
החרב הייתה,
flesh and blood shall not reign.
לא יהיה גשם של דם.
But one only shall reign.
רק אחד ישלוט.
The Lord God of Israel.
אדוני אלוהי ישראל.
Adonai O Israel.
אדוני אלוהי ישראל.
The Lord God of Israel is a jealous God.
הוא אל צדיק.
I am the Lord your God.
אני אדוני אלוהיך.
I am a jealous God.
אני אדוני הקנאי לך.
I will not allow
לא ארשה
the idols
את הפסילים
הבעלה
של בעל,
the idols
את הפסילים
of the Middle East.
של המזרח התיכון.
I shall not allow
לא ארשה
these idols to be worshipped.
את האלילים האלה להיות
This is
סעודים.
a time for sobriety, to be
זה
sober.
הזמן לפיקחון.
Why?
למה?
Because men have been blinded.
כי האדם היה עיוור.
There has been poverty,
היה עוני,
religious poverty,
עוני דתי.
and yet there is the sound.
ועדיין יש קול.
We pray, Lord,
אנחנו מתפללים אליך.
as you came to this nation
איך שהגעת למדינה הזאת,
centuries ago.
מאות שנים אחורה.
Give us one more chance.
תן לנו עוד הזדמנות אחת.
Have mercy upon us.
רחם.
Okay, we have some news. We'll pull this back up.
$5.
Okay, crazy as shit, and I like wanted to throw up. So I'm like getting ready for bed, but I have to come on and show you what the fuck the CDC just rolled out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you talked about it, but it's disgusting.
I was reading it as we were listening to that because Morgan sent it over to me. I don't know if she's watching, but
Yeah, Morgan, thanks for sending this over. So the CDC just released this documentation, and I'm going to copy it real quick so you guys can all look at it in the chat. So the CDC wants to put people in I think they called them green camps for COVID-19. It's called, they put the humanitarian considerations for humanitarian settings. It's called the shielding approach. They want to develop green zones or safe zones to establish household, neighborhood, camps, or sectors among the community levels. Dead serious. This is what it says. The CDC released this. You can go over all this. They want to put certain individuals, they want people to leave their homes that they're at that are high risk and put them in different homes within neighborhoods or sectors or like camps.
oh my God.
What the shit? Like, you can't make this up. I am just.
We were just talking about how all this crazy stuff is coming out. Nobody believes it.
They posted this out. They posted this shit out in July, but now the CDC is acting on it. And they were talking about that approach. Did you see what's happening in China?
No.
Did you play that video? Okay, so there was a person in the airport that tested positive. I'll send you the link, or I'll send you the video so you can play it for everybody. And this is literally in China. They're up. Listen, everybody's waking the hell up. Everybody. And I'm not just saying the Western civilization. Everybody's waking the hell up. I'll send it in this group for you.
Today is weird.
Today is so weird.
Today is weird. Marlon's quiet. That never happens.
Okay, I just sent it to you. That's the video out of the airport, and I'm pretty sure. I think I posted it to my Facebook. So, and
it's on your Facebook.
I sent it to you though. It's at Shanghai Pudong International Airport. Some workers at the airport tested positive for coronavirus, so they tried to force thousands of people into a parking garage for mandatory testing, and they tried to keep them there captive.
China. This is what China does.
Wait till you see these people. No, the Chinese people are not having it. They are not.
They're gonna have it. And
No,
I'll tell you why.
these people are.
I'll tell you why. If you remember, this is probably too far back for most of us to remember now, because it's so much crap has happened since the beginning of this year. But when the COVID thing first started happening in China, they were going through neighborhoods and arresting people and pulling them out of their houses if they were positive. Not just pulling them out, but beating them in the streets and burning them. They were killing people that were COVID positive and burning the bodies. They had an entire mortuary of burnt bodies. They did this to silence the people. Then they built a hospital over 10 days that was bigger than most hospitals in America. The hospital they said this was a detention center until you were quarantined and over. One entry in, bars on the windows, and only one door, and it's locked when they put you in there. They housed nearly, in the time frame about 3 months, they housed almost 4 million people. And no more than a quarter made it out.
Wow.
So when I tell you that the government will have its way, the people could protest all they want, but the way China is run, they will not get much more than this to get out. You'll see. I'll give it a month, and you won't hear anything more out of China. You won't hear a peep out of China.
Watch this video though. It's sick. You can make it bigger if you can. I don't know if you can.
I can't.
I don't know why they don't just charge. I would be charging.
Wow.
And where is this? What are they doing? What's the whole premise behind this here?
Okay, so there was a Shanghai Pudong International Airport tested positive, so they were going to mandatory make all of them test, and they were not having it.
Okay. And is there any video past this anywhere else yet so far?
Let me see, because I have people who are all over the world in regards to the videos I sent you of Antifa and stuff like that from Italy and stuff like that. I have friends that are like literally in that shit. Let me see.
Because I have a suspicion that the government may just deploy not just their police but their military to curb that nonsense.
In China.
That's what they'll call that, is an uprising. They'll call that.
So, but here's my question, because back when COVID happened, there was a group of protesters in China who like were screaming like in between everybody's homes, like they were out in public like screaming. And it was weird to me the fact that China posted it or showed it on live television. Like, because they're very controlling of their propaganda over there, but they showed the people protesting. So I thought that was super weird.
So right after that was shut down. Okay. And right after that same event, about 2 weeks later, they started to get rid of all the black populace in China too. Like they were going through, even if you were married to someone from Africa, they started kicking them out of China.
I remember that.
That they let leak as well. Okay. People actually got that out on social media. The reason they'll let stuff like that out is to create the atmosphere of fear that they will step in and mess you up if you step out of line. They will let certain things out. Like this little video here, you will see this continue to circulate, and then you won't hear from them again. You won't hear
But the thing is, no mainstream media is circulating it. None.
This is considered now mainstream media. They won't, their TV won't do it. CNN won't do it because CNN's in their back pocket. You won't get them to push this nonsense. Because when I tell you that China has a way different way of operating things, this nonsense here. And those people did not make it out.
It's crazy.
They were killing their own people to shut them up.
That's why they said people died, China lied.
The doctor that first came out with this, the first doctor that was not a male, it was a male. He came out talking about COVID and what they were trying to do. He died in China after contracting COVID.
Did you see how China presented to the WHO organization, which they have in their back pocket, are trying to pin this whole COVID thing on Italy and saying it originated from there?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to pin it. They're trying to get the world to deflect away from China. Like, no, bitch, we knew who did it. Like, we live in such a scary time. Like, this is crazy.
我明确告诉你啊，高尔夫目前官方没有确认病例，明白吗？那哪个地方会通知呢？你看官方通告啊，没有官方通告不能随便发布，一旦发布造成社会影响的，我们将追究法律责任。啊，现在我们要求你立即纠正你前面的朋友圈，一个是删除，第二个再发朋友圈，
哇，
的信息进行纠正，啊。怎么就这样？ 你就说，你说，哎呀，可能刚才这个上一条这个信息也不是很准确，如果有大家
Joe, do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Because of COVID.
That's what's coming here.
That's what happened in Germany. Germany just passed a law, and that's why there's riots all over, like Berlin and everything like that. They just passed a law where they don't have to even have a reason to go inside your home. They don't have to have any legal reason to go inside your home. They can just do it.
抱歉之类的啊，继续往回影响啊。我们跟领导已经请示啊，首先对你进行训诫，如果你拒不挽回影响或拒不道歉的，我们按照法律要求对你进行追究法律责任啊，依法处理。明白吗？现在全国都是这么处理的啊。
临时管制，临时管制进行硬隔离，完毕，请你们配合。
我们是在配合呀，
对，配合就行了。
那你这个具体讲一下，你这个硬隔离是要做什么措施？
现在硬隔离，
你先讲一下。
我们给你锁起来。
怎么锁？
链条锁。
链条锁哪儿？
你锁门啊，不给你出来。
那我从里面是否就打不开？在逃生的情况下，
这个我也这个温馨提示一下，在家里要做好个人的安全防护，安全用火，安全用电，如果有突发情况，自己处理不了，及时跟联系人告知战友。因为300药池都会就近放置的。
那我想问一下啊，领导，你们有人负责啊？多长时间能到岗？比如说你从门岗到这儿，几分钟能到？
你这个表就我们出示，除了你们自己承担责任以外，你们责任以外的由我们政府承担。
不是，你告诉我多长时间反应嘛？比如说我家里正法着火了，煤气漏了，煤气爆炸了，给我打120，120到楼下了，人下不出去。
这个我们都会，
你都会，你能？
这个我现在倒出来，怎么倒出来呢？以最快速度，以最快速度。
尽快是什么时候？1天、2天、3天？
你这个没法说，好吧？
不是，尽快是一个时效嘛。
啊，我们履行公务，请你们配合。
我们
忙都是所有的，如果不配合的，要追究刑事责任的。好，
那我们先说一下我们的原因啊。你说完了，总归我们要交个言吧。2点，第一点，杭州市规定就是说不配合居家隔离，对吧？
我先跟着你配合不配合？
我是在配合，我没有出来。
这样，好了，等一下。好了。我要打电话投诉12345，已经不让你们装了，好吧？你就硬隔离，你就记锁闭吧，限制人身自由。你们这是非法。提供开信，和平小区全体居民，当前新型冠状病毒感染肺炎疫情形势严峻，经卫生部门认定，和平小区。
This is real because this is the type of stuff they do here in Japan. At the same time, every day, a lady comes on the loudspeaker with cars driving through the neighborhood. Now, I don't know what they're saying because I don't speak Japanese, but they definitely do use this kind of stuff to get across their message. This is crazy, bro.
They're welding the door, mind you.
This is wild.
Coming to a Democrat city near you.
完了，把门洞都焊死了，不让出屋了。下一个就是我们6号楼了，这是我家了。
搁7号楼的门都焊死了。你想出来？
This is crazy.
就留一个小窗户送菜，还要收钱呢，还卖烟呢，你还去吸烟。
And Democrats say the Chinese are good people. You don't got to worry about China, right?
哦，看看啊，这是我们家站在楼上拍的啊。
Compound. She said
131号楼，
compound.
你看安乐村131号，你看看啊，这些人是来消毒的，还不知道是来上天就来过一次了，今天又来了。
Look up FEMA
看这样是消毒
coffin.
的。 哎，那个是门吗？才干的门哦，
把门封了。
把门封的了。你看那个电焊工在那块焊的，那中间是一个门，你看。
Hope all you Democrats are really happy.
可怕！说是跟南湖人聚会的，4个人聚会的，南湖2个，这1个，上天就来过给隔离了，然后这肯定是人妈的冠状病了。以前是疑似，现在是确诊人，肯定是。然后你看来给封了，要是疑似的话，他不可能封的。
They are arresting suspected carriers.
你看，全是穿黄乎乎的，你看来消毒的。你看这个病毒，要命！你看那个人开电焊，你看把那个大门封起来了，一共能有3个楼梯，中间那个。
Are those bodies? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
看到了，看到了。那个车里面，看到了，我妈妈看到了。2个有很多。
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, girl, that's what they're planning to do. That's what they want. That's what they want.
There you go.
You ain't gonna get it from me.
Facebook just froze you up. Facebook is always freezing me.
Well, baby girl, I got a dip. I got
Get
stuff
my
to do.
knob off.
And
yeah, I'll put the link on my page so everybody can find it. We're out of here, guys.
We on tomorrow?
Please. Yeah, we are.
It's my channel.
Yep. It's your channel.
All right, peoples.
Bye-bye. This was draining. Bye. I gotta go. Holy shit.